We do have an update on the Alex Bowman situation. This was the other 48 Chevrolet that was struck with misfortune after the race, or during the race, rather, I guess you could say. There were some rumors as to whether or not there was a moment where Bowman was jumping over the curb and had a harsh landing. Maybe that was when he lost the extra weight that made his car underweight, but that penalty ultimately disqualified him and knocked him out of the playoffs. Joey Logano's even-year streak potentially still alive. He does still have to get through the round of 8 first, but Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Alex Bowman disqualification?
Just another baffling thing to see on your phone later after the race is well over with. I thought the days of being encumbered were sort of done, but they're in fact not done. They've just taken on different forms and taken on new names. When we go to post-race inspection, the car that passed pre-race inspection goes through the whole race and does what he has to do to make it in to the round of 8. All of a sudden in post-race inspection does not meet the weight requirements. So something along the way, there's all sorts of turtles and roadblocks around the Charlotte Roval to get involved with. Somehow Alex Bowman got something messed up in race mode that made it not meet that minimum weight. I can't understand the reason why, but there has to be something that happened. Either maybe they took some rounds of wedge out, or something like that. And I'm not saying there's any nefarious practices going on from Hendrick, but I mean, all the teams we know, they try to get everything they can out of the car, and there's some gamemanship going on sometimes around trying to get things to be just enough to pass, but also be very competitive. And so the fact that Hendrick was coming out later today with that breaking news and deciding not to appeal, I'm really glad that they're doing that instead of letting it drag on, even though they know, this may show that they know that they in fact did something in between the race that was on the borderline of being okay and not okay. I don't know that, but I'm just trying to find a way through this situation. But overall, it's sad that he's out and Logano is in. For Logano fans, they can rejoice, and when we get here to the championship 4, he might be continuing this streak that's been going for just about 10 years.
Yeah, well, to your point, Brandon, as well, I think Hendrick must have looked at the situation. They said that yesterday. They were going to look at the situation and decide whether it was even worth appealing or not. And we have that statement that they just released here for you all, if you haven't seen it yet. Hendrick Motorsports will not appeal the disqualification of a number 48 car following Sunday's race of the Charlotte Roval. NASCAR allows a clear margin to account for the difference in pre- and post-race weight. After a thorough review by our team and the sanctioning body, we simply did not give ourselves enough margin to meet the post-race requirement. Although unintentional, the infraction was avoidable. We are extremely disappointed to lose a playoff spot under these circumstances and apologize to our fans and partners. So again, from the statement that they put out there, I would think that they looked at the situation and must have recognized that the chances of them winning the appeal were probably slim to none, probably not worth making everybody wait for the next day or two here to see what the appeals committee was going to decide and, leave the playoff status of both the 48 team and Joey Logano and the 22 team up in the air. Everybody's going to have to forgive me here. I don't know exactly how this impacts the owners' points, owners' playoff situation, because I know we said on the wrap-up show yesterday that because Kyle Larson ended up skipping the Roval race, the points of the 5 car earned from Justin Allgaier that weekend allowed the 5 team to win the owners' regular season title, but Tyler Reddick won the drivers' regular season title, and that's why Reddick had enough playoff points to get to the round of 8 over Joey Logano, but not the 45 team over the 22 team. So obviously Logano was already in the owners' playoffs anyway. I would assume that this, benefits the 45 team on the owner side as well, but I know that the points are obviously still going to be different because of the playoff points carrying over from the discrepancy in that regular season championship being awarded. So again, it's not a situation we see in Cup nearly as often, but I feel like the last couple of years, ironically enough, last time I can think of it happening to this degree was with the 45 car again when Kurt Busch unfortunately got hurt, and the 45 team made the owners championship by virtue of his Kansas win, but obviously Kurt couldn't take advantage of that on the driver's side of things. And we even saw a ride swap there with Bubba Wallace getting in the 45 car for the playoffs. So, again, it is something that I think is important to look at because it's where all the money is decided and all the prestige of the championship or the financial bonuses for these teams on these championship competing teams. Obviously, all the prestige in the media is with the drivers' championship, and similarly in Formula One with the drivers versus the constructors there. But I think there's a reason why the owners' championship exists, and I think if there is a difference between those battles, it is worth keeping an eye on here. So, again, something else to be mindful of as we get into the round of 8. But unfortunately, for Alex Bowman, he's not going to be a part of that. Hendrick Motorsports confirming now that they will not appeal the penalty handed down to them by NASCAR after this roval race here.
And I apologize. I had only heard that official statement read and just one time when it was just announced earlier this evening. So yeah, that the fact that it was also they claim it was unintentional. So that gives a little more peace of mind to the whole deal as well. That, when you first see that sort of headline like that NASCAR has taken someone out, it's like, oh man, there they go again, dang NASCAR,
Yeah.
but Hendrick Motorsports coming out, we're going to look at it. They looked at it. Yeah, we didn't give ourselves enough room. It was unintentional, but it's our fault. So, we're not going to win it. So I like this outcome a lot better, and I feel a lot better about this situation than the Xfinity Series situation for sure, if you look at the two side by side.